Hey guys, how's it going? Lee here at Absolute Music, and I'm joined today by Ross from Headrush, and we're going to take a look at this exciting new pedal board that no doubt you've heard about. We're going to give you a bit of a rundown and see what's happening. So Ross, maybe you could tell us a bit.
Okay, so this is the Headrush pedal board, and it features a quad-core processor powered by our exclusive 11HD expanded software. You'll see the logo in the top right-hand corner for 11HD expanded. This is the DSP software that powers the Headrush pedal board and gives you all the great tones. When we created this, we disassembled the legacy 11 rack plugin code completely and then reconstructed the whole architecture for our new DSP system. So our modeling now sounds more realistic than ever. There's more flexibility for users creating rigs, and we've added new effects and features, and it has better overall performance.
Cool, sounds good. I've just had a couple of minutes to have a first play with this, and I can definitely validate that it's sounding good, but for me the winner with this is the ease of use. This is a powerful unit with lots of tweakability, lots of sounds, but it took me just a matter of minutes to start feeling comfortable with it. So maybe if we just run the guys through how you would kind of program up a basic sound, tweak the signal path, because the gem in this is that touchscreen.
Absolutely.
So let's put together a little patch here.
Cool. So the first thing you do is you create a new rig. You can see we had a Bogner amp rig in there that we were demoing. So you'll see this is a completely blank rig, and it's really easy for me to jump in and start creating sounds. First thing I do is I can click on any one of these plus blocks here, and I can load in an amp of choice. So I'm feeling a Fender today. I don't know about you.
Yeah,
so let's put in a Fender amp.
Okay.
And you'll see it's loaded the amp and the matching cab. If you want to give us a go on that.
Sounds good to me.
Fantastic. Now if we want to tweak the tone a little bit more, it's really easy. You'll see I've got all of these parameters on the right hand side of the unit, and these correspond to these three encoders here. So if I want to adjust the overall volume and give it a bit more drive, I can do. I can turn bright on and off. I can boost my treble, cut my mids, boost my bass a little bit. I can turn vibrato on and off. I'm going to leave that off for now. If I want to edit my amp, it's just as simple. I can touch there. I can move my mic on and off axis. I can adjust the breakup a little bit. I can adjust the output gain. I can adjust the amp gain as well, all from these three encoders, and you'll see how quick and easy it is to use. If I want to double up my amps, I can do. I can run them in parallel. I just click that 2 times button, and then I can load up any other amplifier that I want that's installed in Headrush. And there's everything inside this, from your Fender to your Marshall tones and everything in between. So I'm just going to load up a little Tweed Deluxe, and that's in the chain now.
So is that I believe this is stereo, so will that give you like the sort of 2 sounds? You could split it in a stereo setup?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely. We've got stereo outputs built into the back of this, XLRs and switchable amp and line levels.
So this is set up completely for running into an amp, or direct to a PA?
Absolutely.
Direct to an interface for recording?
Absolutely. We've got a USB input at the back as well. Wow. You can have it running into a PA and an amplifier simultaneously.
Ah, cool. Yeah. Cool.
I can double up my cabs as well, but for now let's keep it easy. I'm just going to keep it as one amp head.
Yep.
So let's add a bit of reverb. It's really easy to use. You can see how intuitive this is. On this unit we've got the Air Music Technology effects, which are Pro Tools grade effects, and so I'm just going to use one of the Air reverbs here. I'll put on the ambient setting and I'll turn down the mix just a little bit. So if you can give me a blast. Now, you'll notice the quality of that reverb. One of the really cool features we've got on this, and is facilitated by our multi-core processor, is reverb tails that spill over between patches. So I can switch between my different rigs, which I can do using those two rig up and down buttons there. Yep.
Rig B.
And the reverb tails will continue into the next patch, which is a really, really cool feature. It gives you like a fluid performance.
Cool.
With no dropout, no interruptions.
So you get...
And that will keep on going into your next sound.
Nice.
And so you can see I can keep adding effects in here. I've got everything I could possibly want, from my distortion and my overdrive effects. I've got different EQs and different compressors. I've got different reverbs and different delays, and also expression pedal effects as well. You'll also notice that there are impulse responses, and we can load impulse responses into the Headrush pedalboard. We're currently including 2 Celestion impulse responses.
Right, okay.
For anyone that buys one of these units, which are accessible on the Celestion download page. For those people who want to create some more complicated signal paths, we've got 3 different choices to choose from. This one involves a split in the middle, and this one involves a fork at the beginning, merging into one signal chain at the end.
Right.
Me personally, I like to keep things simple, so we'll just go back to the standard intuitive layout. Now I'm going to put an overdrive in front of the signal chain. Now you'll notice that I've added it at the end of the signal chain there.
Yeah.
If I want to move it to the beginning, it's really straightforward.
Right.
I just put it in at the front, make sure that everything's in the order that I want it to be in, and there we go. My overdrive is now there. And I can just bring my drive down a bit, up my tone. Some other killer features we've got an expression pedal here with a click on 2 banks, and we can map up to 8 different parameters from any amplifier or effects directly to the expression pedal. So if I wanted to, I can go into my hardware assign mode, and I can click in any one of these hardware assign slots, and I could put the drive of my overdrive pedal in there, and I can adjust the range of this as well. So I could say I would like it to be from 1% and between 10%, just to give me a little boost when I might be soloing, or I want a little bit more presence to lift myself on top of the band.
So you don't have to actually kind of get your foot like just there and then there. You can actually go like heel to toe, but it will go within those parameters.
Absolutely. Right. Check out that. I'm just going from
cool.
1 to 10 on my drive there.
Nice.
Which is really cool.
So,
very cool. Just gives you a nice little lift on top of the band. I've also got standard controls for a noise gate on the input. If you're playing with some active pickups, or you're running a high gain amplifier, you've got a noise gate there. And you've also got your rig output volumes there as well. Some other killer features that we've got is a 20-minute looper.
Right. Nice.
So you can loop till your heart's content.
Yeah.
It's either 100 layers or 20 minutes, whichever you reach first.
That was it. I just stop there and just look at this as well, guys. The scribble strips on here, they are so useful. So when we changed the looper there, you would have seen that all of these labels here just change. So whatever patch or whatever preset you're in, these are little screens here that are able to change along with those patches to be relevant. So you don't have to remember any codes. It's not like color based. It literally will change. So if you've got a distortion in that patch, that will change to say that distortion. But I believe you can also color code it as well. Can you? You
absolutely can. If you go into any one of your plugins, you can change the color of it, and you'll see it's just changed instantly if we wanted it to be pink.
So these pedals here have just changed to our signal chain, so you can now see that's amp, cab, the reverb and the overdrive. And that will change with every bank, every preset. It'll all become relevant to that.
Absolutely. It auto adjusts to whatever you want. Plus you can adjust the order in which these show up on the scribble strips here. If I go into my hardware assign page, if I wanted my reverb effect and my overdrive to be up here, and I wanted my amp and my cab to be down there, I can literally just drag them about.
Is that messing with the signal chain?
No, it keeps the signals in the signal chain. It just changes it so that you can adjust it on the fly.
Cool. Cool. So I've heard there's a hands-free kind of edit feature to this?
There is indeed. We can't expect people to be bending over and using the plugins in a live environment using the touchscreen, so we created a hands-free mode. So what I do is hold down on the foot switch for the effect or amp plugin that I want to edit. And you'll see I've entered hands-free mode, where I can use the expression pedal to edit the sound, or I can use the plus and minus buttons here to edit the sound in precise increments. And this lets people edit their tone on the fly.
So it applies to everything in the signal chain. So if I go on the amp,
yeah, absolutely.
So that's now, okay, so the strips have now changed. So we've got volume, bright, vibrato, trem, mid, bass. So you've got all the parameters basically that are on that.
Yeah.
So treble, for instance. Oh man, I like that. I like that. So guys, if you want to make any tweaks to your sounds mid-gig or mid-rehearsal, you can just find, you know, if there's an issue with the amp or something, hold it down, go into hands-free mode, need a bit more mid, you've got it there, which is so cool, because that's been one of the things in the past, that although these units are very powerful, they often take a lot of tweaking as well, and that is, well, that's a winner for me. So,
absolutely.
yeah.
And you see how quick it was for us to create a sound. You're literally creating patches in seconds.
Dragging and drop. It's stuff that I suppose in today's modern day and age of iPads and everything, people will be very used to it.
Absolutely.
And it's very intuitive.
So let's look at some of the sounds that we've got on
Yeah.
here. And for our visit today, we created some really ampy tones. Now, here is my set list feature. So if you know you're playing lots of different gigs with different bands, or you just want to categorize your tones, you can put them into different set lists, and it's really easy to use. I'm going to stay in this set list, and then if I drag down here, I can see all of my rigs inside that set list. So let's have a listen to a dual rectifier. Let's see what that sounds like. So let's have a look at some other sounds that we've got in here. Let's go for an AC30.
It's almost kind of driving a bit when you hit it hard, which is...
It's one of the things we really wanted to do with Pedalboard, is to create an environment that guitarists are used to. So if we go for a crunch sound, you'll notice how on your guitar, if you roll, if you keep the volume loud,
So this
you'll
is
hear
wide
it.
open.
So you can see it responds how you'd expect the amplifier to respond. And that's one of the things we really wanted to do with this, to create these really accurate ampy tones that guitarists are going to love, and combine that with the power of a multi-core processor and the effect processing capability that we've got inside the unit.
Yep. So just one question has come to mind. How many kind of blocks can you run in a signal chain? Is it what we see there?
It is what you see there.
Right,
yeah.
Okay. So what's that, like 10, 11?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9,
Enough.
10, 11.
Enough.
Yeah.
Okay. And you were saying at the beginning, you can integrate this into an existing. So if you've already got an amp that you love, the Headrush can still be for you.
Absolutely.
You can use it as an effects processor.
Yeah, using the 4 cable method. Go on the internet and look that one up, guys.
Yeah.
You can actually integrate your own amplifier, as long as it's got an effects return, into the signal chain of Headrush, using the effects return block.
Right.
And that way you can use all of the awesome effects modeling that we've got on here and retain the character and sound of your amp. So if you're a die-hard amp enthusiast and you don't want to get rid of your amp, Headrush Pedalboard's still got something to offer you with its effects modeling capability.
So could you kind of choose, like, what sits before?
Oh,
and
absolutely, absolutely. So if I'll create a new rig, and I'll just load in some effects for us to demo this with. Vibrato.
I'm feeling seasick.
That's beautiful. And if we got our effects loop in here, by routing the pedal board and your amplifier correctly using our effects returns and inputs and outputs, your amp would literally appear as this block, and you can move it around the signal chain and put whatever effects you want in front of it or behind it, which is really cool because you could have your overdrives in front of your amplifier and then your reverbs after it, and in the positions you want them in.
Yeah, cool. Well, there you go, guys. That was a little rundown for you. We've scratched the surface. Hopefully you can see that it's very, very intuitive to use this. Real kind of hands-on, easy editing for us guitar players that just want to get on and play. Wrapped up in a box that's really, really nicely made, rugged, roadworthy, and I'm sure you're all going to be enjoying gigging with it soon. So I'll say thank you to Ross for coming down and showing us this today, and keep your eyes peeled for more content from us. Thank you.